Is Star Wars Galaxy's Edge a failure? Today we're going to be checking out the Disneyland Resort and Walt Disney World Resort's Galaxy's Edge Star Wars lands, and we're going to try to figure out if they're a failure or not. First, starting off at the Disneyland Resort. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opened in May over in California, and everyone was really excited about it. They had it managed very well for opening day. You had to reserve a section, you had a 4-hour time frame to experience the land, and then you had to get out. It went well. It seemed like a pretty good land, and then a little while later we had some questions about the success of Star Wars Land in Disneyland. Personally, I see why they put Star Wars Land in Disneyland and not in California Adventure, but I do feel like putting Star Wars in Walt Disney's original park was a mistake. Putting such a big IP land, like right by the castle like that, I thought was kind of weird. Again, I totally get why they did it, and it makes sense why they did it, but I feel like that may have also led to the possible failure of this land. It's so different than what Walt Disney had for that park. I feel like that park should have been kept the way it was, but continued to get updates, maybe some new attractions, but adding this whole new, different land to this area and to this park specifically, I feel like kind of maybe angered some guests or just gave it a weird vibe. Because Disneyland's not as updated as Galaxy's Edge is, or has as much technology as that land does. So we're going to check the wait times for Smuggler's Run right now. On September 11th, 2019, Smuggler's Run's a 30-minute wait. So I've heard many good things about that attraction. I've also heard many bad things about the Smuggler's Run attraction. And personally, I cannot give my opinion because I've not experienced this land yet. But a 30-minute wait for as new as a ride as this one, to have a 30-minute wait is weird to me. The lines that, for example, Pandora and Animal Kingdom was getting, even now, or in the hundreds most days, but this to be 30 minutes has me kind of concerned. Now, the land is themed very well. I understand some of the lines most of the time are longer just to get into the cantina or into the droid depot than it is to actually ride the main attraction, which I feel like may be a shock to some people, but the theming in those areas is incredible, and that's honestly probably where I would be as well. Now, something to do with this also maybe is because over the summer a lot of annual pass holder dates have been blocked out, so a lot of their main guest flow was not able to come to the park. So I feel like that also could have affected that whole problem. But within the past 2 weeks, they've lifted majority of the blackout dates for all of their levels of annual pass holders, but the wait's still 30 minutes. So overall, what do I think about Disneyland's version of Star Wars Land? I think it is a really cool land. They will be getting another attraction. I'm very interested to see how that does. But do I think it was successful in Disneyland? No. Disneyland's Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is a failure, in my opinion. Whenever I traveled to Disneyland, it definitely felt more like that's what I would do one weekend, a couple weekends throughout the summer. Like, it had a very different vibe than Disney World did. Disney World is a very heavy tourist destination, and I'm not saying that Disneyland isn't, but the crowds that they get are mainly locals, and after the locals do it once, it's there. But you even look at Radiator Springs Racers has a bigger wait time than Smuggler's Run, and that ride's been open for a few years. But this also could have led to Disney ruining the Star Wars franchise. There's a lot of things that go into play here, and I really want to hear your opinions down below, what you guys think, if you guys have heard anything else, if you've experienced anything at Galaxy's Edge that makes you think that it is not a failure. Let me know down below in the comments. I'd love to read them. Again, this is just my opinion from research and observations through other people that have been and things that I've read online and checking wait times like daily. I just don't think it's working out over there in Disneyland. Now checking in over at Walt Disney World, their Galaxy's Edge opened at the end of August in the Hollywood Studios park. I feel like Star Wars Land fit for sure in Hollywood Studios way better than in Disneyland. I could not imagine Star Wars Land being in the Magic Kingdom. It doesn't make sense to me. So adding more Star Wars to that park was really no big deal. Opening morning over there was absolutely insane. So Disney ended up letting guests into the park and into the land area around 5:45 in the morning the day of opening. Disney did expect a lot of guests to show up for this opening, and they sure did. Just a few minutes after opening, they had Smuggler's Run posted at a 300-minute wait, and at one point during the day, the line got backed all the way up to the Chinese theater. So if you've been to Hollywood Studios, you guys know that's a decent walk around the corner there to Grand Avenue. With the expectation of many guests coming, Disney had to break the theming a little bit. They added some umbrellas for shade as it does get super hot in Florida, and they also added a bunch more tables and chairs, which was really weird. So I feel like that kind of broke the theming a little bit, which was also disappointing. Now, Disney did use virtual queue through the My Disney experience where you could kind of book a time and go back, which then lowered the wait times for that day. But Pandora was still at a 60-minute wait. Around 5 p.m. that day, Smuggler's Run was down to a 150-minute wait where it sat the rest of the day. Just 2 days later, the ride was sitting at a 95-minute wait, and currently today, it is a 35-minute wait. So the same thing applies to Disney's Hollywood Studios. The land is themed very well. People are waiting for many other things, like to build a droid, build a lightsaber, check out the cantina, and check out the whole marketplace area, as long as getting some food. So still, wait times being low, Flight of Passage still being a longer wait currently, and this is a new attraction. It's still really surprising, and I feel like with Disney having some issues with recent Star Wars movies, I feel like Disney mess up the Star Wars franchise, which could have an effect on the land, or there just not being very many Star Wars fans right now, like wanting to ride that attraction. Many people may think, well, I don't like Star Wars, so I don't want to ride that. I don't really know what the thought process is. Now, Hurricane Dorian was just in that whole area, and it was in that area at the time of opening. It was expected to go near Disney, and it never really hit Disney, but they did get like some tropical storms around that time, so that could have also lowered waits. But today, there's nothing there that could be affecting the wait times right now, so I'm really surprised of the wait times, and I'm interested to see what happens when this other attraction opens. I think that this other attraction will do better, if not is better than Smuggler's Run, so I'm interested to see what the wait times are like for that, and those will be opening later this year. But overall, looking at Hollywood Studios, I feel like that the Galaxy's Edge at Hollywood Studios was a bigger success than the one in Disneyland. I feel like it fit the park better. More people are going to visit Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in Disney World than in Disneyland, just by people coming and visiting. I feel like more people would come to Disney World than go to Disneyland for Galaxy's Edge. Future Haley here, popping in for just a minute. There's a few other things that I wanted to make sure I stated in my reasoning to why Galaxy's Edge is a failure. So people are going to Disneyland just to go to Disneyland, but people are going to Hollywood Studios in Florida for specifically Star Wars, therefore meaning that there's a higher demand for Star Wars in Florida than there is for Disneyland. People aren't going to Disneyland being like, I just want to go see Star Wars. People are going to Hollywood Studios just because Star Wars is there. There's really not much else in that park, so why else would people really go? Also, one other thing that could also be dropping crowds in Galaxy's Edge is because of the lightsaber building experience and the droid depot, like build your own droid experience. Those are really expensive to do, those once in a lifetime things. Majority of people will not do them, or will do them one time in a lifetime. It's a one-time thing that you do, and they're expensive. So not a lot of people are going to want to go do those things. So that kind of also leads to an issue. And also the whole marketplace area full of shops and everything. That's not like the normal stores that you'll find in Disney parks where they constantly update merchandise. In Batuu, they could not constantly do that, and it's not like they can add new merchandise. Like, it just doesn't really fit the theming. It's not like they could do holiday merchandise or any specialty merchandise like they could do in all of the other shops. So once guests see them once, like annual pass holders, they don't really need to go in again. Back to the video. But please let me know your thoughts, your opinions, your ideas down below. In conclusion, I think that Disneyland's Galaxy's Edge is a failure and Disney World's Galaxy's Edge is a success, but it'll be really interesting to see how the lands do after the Rise of Skywalker movie. if they may add some things to them, maybe that will help the land out if they can fix the mess of The Last Jedi. We'll just have to wait and find out. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. Check out more Star Wars videos all down below. If you guys like to hear more Disney news, make sure to check out all of my D23 videos, all linked down below. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter as I do share the newest Disney announcements and information. Also, make sure to check out my Disney Cupcake merchandise. I have many sales coming up, so make sure to go check that out. Everything is linked down below. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and remember to do what you love and do what makes you happy, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!